Well, it's the old family snapshot album that Ron used to keep, and Bill had before him. One. Are we ready? Yeah. Well, that's a picture of Mother with a 1920s outfit on outside number 19 Pendray. Now that's a picture of my grandpa, William Davis, bus driver, with brother Bill on his left and Gran holding Ron on his lap. And I forget the name of the dog now. They had him a long, long time. Now, that's a picture of my Gran Crocombe, who I never saw, but she died before I was old enough to recognize her. And Uncle Archie's on the right-hand side, and I think it's Uncle Percy on the left. And they're all sitting on the rocks at Ogmore by Sea. She was a doer. No idea who that is. No. Okay. That's Father Crocombe. And again, I don't know who he's with, but looked like Auntie Phyllis, actually. In his smarter days. Yeah. Now that. Okay. Yeah. That looks like Auntie Gladys, who's Mum's sister. And again, she's a very large lady, as I recall, after this picture was taken, a long time after. And when I was cycling home from rugby, Mother said, you better go and see Auntie Gladys, because she's not with us for long. So I turned up at Hazelhurst Road in Llandaff, and this lady was in her bed, and she was like a skeleton. And I was so frightened, I don't think I stopped cycling till I got back to rugby. That's Ron in the big military hat, and cousin Leonard Crocombe. I don't know where they are. But that must have been about, let me see, about 1931, I should think. 31 or 32. That's Auntie Phyllis. And I think she's in our garden in Pendray, because I recognise that dog. That was the poor dog that got his legs cut off with a haymaking machine and came home on the stumps. Yeah. Well, that's Mum, but I don't know who the gentleman is she's playing golf with.
He's snappily dressed.
But she's smiling a lot. Yeah. A relative, I hope.
Last picture of somebody's finger.
Yes, it is, and I have no idea where it is. It's not a South Wales beach, I don't think. That's Cousin Iris. She was Auntie Gladys's daughter. She got married and went out to America to live. And didn't come back until she was... I think she came back just after her mother died. But I never saw her again. I can say what?
That's who she married.
Yeah, yeah, that's who she married, yeah. That's Auntie Gladys again. That's Iris and her husband, and I think that's her daughter. I'm not sure who the gentleman in the car is, and that's in America, I think.
Whereabouts in America do they live?
No clue, no. Yeah, well, that's on the left is Gran Davis, and Mum's in the front, Bill's on the right, and Ron is standing with the big cowboy hat at the back. Yeah. In something that Mother knitted. And that's Auntie Phyllis, and she's with Ron. I love the bobble hat. They seem to wear a lot of things like that, or Mother put a lot of things like that on him. I don't know quite where they are. The scenery is not identifiable. It looks like a beach somewhere. Doesn't it look like a beach to you?
I think so, yeah.
Yes. Well, that could be grass, I suppose, there. And a sand pit, but it's definitely enjoying himself. Edith, this is Auntie Phyllis's older sister, and the oldest in the family, I think. And that's with Cousin Leonard.
Is that their child?
No. Cousin Leonard was Uncle Percy's son. So it's her nephew. Auntie Phyllis was, Auntie Edith was a nursing sister with the Quaranks, Queen Alexandra's Royal Army Nursing Corps in South Africa, where she married a gentleman, an officer, who absconded with the regimental funds, and she divorced him. A forbidding lady, but very kind-hearted all the same. Gran Crocombe used to send her down to the railway station to collect her father's wages on a Friday, because he enjoyed a drink and didn't always come home with his pay packet. And he used to give her a sixpenny piece, which was quite a lot of money in those days, and tell her to bugger off and go home without him. It's like Auntie Phyllis with Lawrence again, with Ron again.
Somewhere.
He was her favourite, and when she was in a nursing home in the south of England, Ron used to always go down and visit her 2 or 3 times a year. No idea who they are. Not a clue. The forbidding looking one on the right, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, that's Mum in the front with the fox around her shoulders. Not sure where it is, but it could be Yarmouth, because they used to go across the East Coast quite a lot on bus trips.
Long way to go, isn't it?
Yes, I never found out why they went to Boston and Yarmouth, but they always seem to go that way. Looks like Ron again.
Same place as that.
Yes, it looks like the same day sort of thing. No idea. Well, the deck chairs, but it's all rigged up, isn't it?
Mm.
That's East Coast again, I'm not sure.
Looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Bill in his boiler suit for going to bed in. One that Mother made, I think. I seem to remember saying that Mother used to make nearly all their clothes, except the school clothes, of course. And there's Ron in his copycat suit.
Fine head of hair.
Oh, Ron, yeah. He did, yeah. There's Dad, and it looks like Bill at the back, but I'm not sure if that's Ron in front. It doesn't look like Ron. Probably one of the neighbours' kids from Pendray. Dad with a fag in his mouth before he went changed to a pipe. Well, I can see on the boy's back is Ron is the first one and Bill the second one, but I'm not sure who the other two are. I don't recognise them at all.
Set friends, I guess.
Could be. Well, obviously, Mum and Ron. No, that's our Auntie Nellie on the right. It was an aunt really, but she was always called Auntie Nellie. And Uncle Sam was in the 1721st Lancers. And in their home in Pendray, they had a magnificent picture of the fireplace of him in his full gear on a horse with a lance and all his gold braid and stuff hanging off him. A real Lancer's dress outfit, you know.
Yeah.
And he was the local postman after he retired. And in the front there, in his lap, is Eileen, who now lives at Prestatyn. Well, I don't think she's alive anymore. I saw her a few years ago and took some pictures that I had, copies, and she was thrilled to bits with those. Now I said Eileen, but I think actually it's Elsie.
Oh, right.
Elsie, that is, in his lap, and Eileen is on the mother's lap. And the little boy here is Cedric, and he was a pain in the elbow, he was. He was really snobbish. He didn't want to talk to us or anybody. And I'm not sure the other children are behind. Elsie and Eileen had an older sister, Norma, but the one at the back looks too young to be older than those two. So I'm not sure who the three behind her. That might be Ron there behind the other lady.
Yeah, might be.
Yeah, and Bill, of course, put his hand in front of his face. It could be Bill, that one, but I'm not sure. Again, we look like the rocks are like Hogmore rocks, so
Yeah.
and it's our nearest seaside place.
Day out.
Day out time, yeah. Yeah. What do you say about Indians? That's our Bill, full rig for war. I'm not sure the horse will get him far. Yeah. There's Uncle Sam and Auntie Nellie again.
Yeah, kids.
Now there's Norma. That's Norma.
On the right.
On the right, yeah. And that's Elsie. And that's Eileen.
Right.
And Norma, she married a surveyor of some sort to do work with the council in Glasgow. And when I was on the road with Magic Hole, I went and visited them one day, and sort of said, "Oh well, you meet us at this bar," and give me an address. And I went and walked into the bar, and Bill, her husband, was standing there with 3 empty glasses on the counter in front of him, one in his hand. So I had a pint with him, And after that I had 2 pints, which but my limit really. Norma came in and said, "Look at him, he's had 5 pints." And the barman set up 5 schooners of sherry in front of her, and she drank the lot down in one go. And then she said, "Come on, we'll go and I'll make some tea." And she went and made a bloody great steak each, and she had one as well. And he brought out a bottle of scotch, and he was pouring glasses of scotch out for himself and her. And I had 1 glass, and I was sticking onto this glass. I can't drink any more. I'd had 3 pints of beer to start with. And I don't remember getting back to the hotel that night.
Serious
I
drinkers.
did see it. Ooh, never seen anything like it. Yeah, that looks like Ron on the same rocking horse as Bill was on just now.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. He still got that mop hat on his head. I don't know why he wore that all the time, but he seemed to have it on every time he went out.
That's those kids again, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. That's Elsie
On the left.
on the left, and did I say his name was Cedric,
Yeah.
the boy, and Norma's on the right. I'm not sure who the big lad is. Could be Bill, I think, but not very clear the way he's looking now.
That's Barry Island. Isn't it?
Yeah, that's Barry Island, but I don't know who the children are. I don't recognise them. With a monster sandcastle, and Bill as well, looks like it, kneeling down behind the sandcastle. Yeah. There's that one, I'm afraid.
I think it's Bill.
Could be, but not his smile somehow.
Yeah. Any of them?
No, don't recognise any of them, I'm afraid. Now there we have, on the left is Auntie Phyllis and Gran Davis and Bill with a dark cap on, and it could be Ron under the big cap again.
So,
Yes, I've no idea where they are.
yeah. Like he's got his tie on the beach.
Oh yes, very well dressed, yeah. Yeah. Well, there once again I can recognise the 2 in the front. On the right is Cousin Leonard, and Ron is on the left. But who the 2 are behind, I have no idea. Ah, yes, Auntie Phyllis in the deck chair with the dark hair, and Gran again by the look of it.
Is that your dad?
Oh yeah, that's Dad, yeah. And probably Ron and Bill on his back. Don't you think?
I think so. Yeah.
But where they are, again, sand, and a built wall with a house behind. I don't know where the hell that can be, on the beach somewhere. Really not a clue where that is. Nowhere I recognise at all.
Can't imagine going on the beach in your suit, can you? And then lying
Oh
in the
no,
sand.
no, that's what they used to do, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the pictures you see the men in the suits.
Yeah.
That's Ron again.
Plenty of pictures of him.
Yeah, plenty of pictures of him, yeah. Yeah, and again, another one of Ron in his lovely hat.
Well, they're dressing like a little girl, aren't they?
Yeah, they were, yeah. I don't know, being the second child, whether the mother was hoping it would be a girl. Because mother's first child was a girl who died at childbirth. Or immediately after, anyway. But I'm not sure who that is.
You think that's Rob?
It looks like Ron, yeah, but not quite. Very rarely saw his eyebrows come down like that. Or never frowned.
Or he's holding his hand.
A spade or some sort. Now that looks like Hazelhurst Road in Lambeth. And that's Mum holding Ron, I think.
Who lived in Hazelhurst Road?
Gran Davis.
Oh, right.
Mum's family, yeah.
Recognise them?
Yeah, Mum's on the right. I'm not sure who the other lady is. Probably one of the Smith clan, who were distant relatives of ours and were known as the Lambeth Mafia. And if you wanted anything on the black market or was slightly shady, they would find it for you, no doubt. As all my two older brothers spent a lot of their holidays in Lambeth, they were under the protection of the Smiths, as you might say. Really?
Don't mess with them.
No, don't mess with them. They belong to the Smiths. Yeah. Not one of them, no. They're all well dressed, though. No, don't reckon. That's the dog again.
And somebody.
And somebody, yes. It's very blonde hairs. I don't recognise who that can be. It might be Cedric, Uncle Sam's son, because he was white blonde.
Really?
But don't recognise, I haven't seen that picture before. I should have a copy of it, shouldn't I? Somewhere. I don't recognise it.
That looks flat.
Yes, it is over the East Coast again. I'm not sure. It could be the Yar or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
That looks the same, doesn't it?
Sorry, it's Windsor Castle.
That is, yeah. We're not sure who the people are. They're obviously it's somebody with a box brownie taking them too far away. A boat, yeah. Auntie Phyllis with her favourite again. Well, Auntie Phyllis is front left, and they all look as if they're having a drag on one cigarette. Probably the girls from the office she worked in.
Looks like a day out, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's Ron with the dog again.
Yeah. You remember its name?
They had two dogs, and it was before my time, really.
Yeah.
They had this number 19 Pendray, and they never took the dog that was chopped up was the first one, apparently. And the next dog, they didn't give it away, but it wouldn't come down and live in number 70 Pendray. We brought it with us and just run back up there. So the people next door who liked the dog took it on. And, well, because I was getting to be 3 or 4, just recognise things, and didn't understand where the dog went. But we never had a dog after that, just had a cats. It's the same party again, Auntie Phyllis with all her friends. Yeah. Again, I don't know where it is. It looks like a canal almost, doesn't it? So it must be Cardiff, I suppose, or somewhere on the Merthyr Canal. It's the only one anywhere near.
Yeah.
Anywhere. That's father with Gran Davis. And I think that's in Lambeth.
Quite young then.
Yes, well, He would be. And Grant Davis looks quite young, of course.
Relatively, yeah.
So they were married in 1922. So he's in the mid-20s, I should think. 1925, 28 perhaps. No idea. As you say, he's got hair even. And Lawrence is the only one who had sandy-coloured hair like father. Us three had black hair like mother. And the gentleman, father's in the centre, of course, and I'm not sure, he's obviously one of our children. I think it might be Bill, because father looks quite young, it's still there. And the gentleman on the right is Mr. Burgoyne, who was the manager at Bridgend, Western Welsh in Bridgend.
What's Western Welsh?
Western Welsh Bus Company.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And I'm not sure the gentleman on the other side. And father was a conductor who worked for Mr. Burgoyne. It was one of his favourites, apparently. But I don't know what went wrong, because father left service for some reason. He was out of work for 10 years before the war started. Not 10, perhaps 8 years before the war started. And he got a job in the ordnance factory. Now, father's taken on a pipe there, and he's with Uncle Percy, his brother. And Ron, of course, with the hat on again. He only wore that a long time, didn't he?
What did Uncle Percy do?
Not a lot. Uncle Percy was in the war with father, as all the brothers were. And Uncle Percy got ravaged with gas. And
it affected his breathing.
Yes, he couldn't walk very far or very fast. You know, when he stood up, he was sort of bent over a bit forward, always leaning forward and breathing through his mouth, you know. And Uncle Percy was had the honour of being one of the first British troops at the gates of Jerusalem when the Turks were backing off in the war. And they'd driven them back to the gates of Jerusalem, and they turned up on a bicycle patrol ahead of their own troops, and the Turkish troops had all disappeared, apparently, before they got there, luckily. Bicycle patrol in the desert, I thought that was a hoot that. We were there, he said we did it. Yeah, that's father with Grandpa Davis in his bus driver's uniform. And look at the age of father, I should think that's Bill he's holding. That's Ron again, his hat. Yeah, well, that's Mum in the big hat. And Ron's on the left. And I don't think Bill's nose is poking above the picture, yeah. And the lady on the right is Auntie Hilda, Uncle Percy's wife. And she was deaf as a post. And that's her son Leonard, sitting in her lap. But I'm not sure who the two children are in between. And that looks like Porthcawl, because the sand dunes go behind their heads, and the fairground, that's a familiar shape in the building and the fairground. That's the beach in front of Coney Beach, Pleasure Beach. Yeah, Hilda.
Yeah. Well, because she was deaf.
So she was deaf, and she didn't speak clearly because she never heard words, you know. But she could lip read, magic, she could lip read from 20 feet away. You always tell what people were saying, and and make a noise and go, ah, 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 ah. And people would turn towards her and she'd try and tell them what she wanted to say. And we'd all nod and say, because there's no way that she was going to learn what to say. And,
No.
You know. And,
that's a shame, isn't it?
aye, that's the same. She's a lovely lady. That's Bill, that is, on the fairground somewhere.
Enjoying his motorbike.
Yeah. Oh, there's a clown for you. I'm not sure who the two ladies are.
It's the same day house as before, isn't it? By the looks of it?
Yeah, that looks like it's Auntie Hilda there, but not quite sure. Because Leonard's still sitting on a lap.
Yeah.
And Ron, probably Bill.
Yeah. Is that Cedric?
No, it's too big for Cedric, because Bill, you know, Bill was 10, 15 years older than Cedric.
Oh, really?
Cedric's dead now.
Is he?
He didn't last very long.
An attractive knitted swimming costume.
Oh, brilliant, yeah. One of Mother's efforts again. Yeah, it looks like the other picture, doesn't it?
Yeah,
With it looks like the lady who took that picture is now in this picture, and Mother's using the camera. Yeah. That's Ron again.
Yeah.
Lovely head of hair. I'm not sure who those two are. Who that is either. Again, I'm not sure who they are. They're a bit too far away.
Yeah.
The one with a tie looks like Bill rather, and that looks like Ron.
Yeah.
We're not sure who they are.
You're having a nice time, though.
You're having a nice time, yeah, getting your feet wet. Yeah. Yeah. We asked Mum with a fox slung round her shoulders again. We're not sure who the other lady is. A family group.
Yeah, very formal.
Yes. Looks like both got the nice ties on, and don't think Bill's old enough to have gone to the county school. He could be just about 11, I suppose. Do you think?
Maybe. He looks a bit younger than that, doesn't he?
He does look a bit younger than that. I would say he was about 9.
Yeah.
So it's not a county school tie, but they both got the same tie on the look of them. Oh, very formal, that.
Yeah.
Now, that's Dad with old Auntie Nellie. And Auntie Nellie was our Auntie Nellie's mother. Which was a bit confusing to us kids, but as you grow up you realise that names came down the family. Again, I'm not sure where it is. It's not in a Pendray house, that's for sure. There's Mum looking very smart in the centre with two of her neighbours. I'm not sure who they are. They're obviously having a great day out. It looks like Auntie Edith. But where? I've no idea. But those stairs seem to appear in several of our family photos. No idea where that is.
Say her name.
It's cousin Dorothy, but I'm not sure who Dorothy was. As she was a niece of ours, of my father's, who was obviously either Uncle Archie's or one of the other brothers' daughters. And I seem to remember Dorothy lived in Tondy, which is just outside Bridgend. So that's Grand Crocombe. I'm not sure if she's going swimming or what, but seems I can't see her going swimming at all. But I'm not sure where she is either. It looks
It's a big house, isn't it?
a big house, yeah. or a hotel.
Mm.
No, I'm not sure where she is. No, don't know those ladies, I'm afraid. Look at it.
Was Auntie Nellie?
Auntie Nellie, old Auntie Nellie in the centre, and young Auntie Nellie on the right. But she looks a lot fuller face than I remember her. But that could have been because it was a lot earlier, you know.
Yeah.
She lost some weight. A fine hatted group of Crocombes. Yes. Father with Bill and Ron. That's Father and Bill and Ron with Gran Davis. That looks very Ogmore-ish.
With the rocks.
Yeah.
That Bill at the right?
He could be, yes, but the big lad. Well, the big lad could be one of the Smiths. Because not sure where that is. It looked like Barry, the arcade of
Oh yeah,
there.
yeah, in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, Barry Island, which they would go to from Lambeth with the Smiths. You see.
Yeah. But the closest bit of sort of beachy area.
Well, sorry.
Closest sort of beach resort to go to is it for a day out?
Yes, yeah. And it was the Smiths had a big car, big old black car. I remember. So they cram them all in, no problem. Now we have some Crocombes, at least two Crocombes there. Ron on the left and Leonard on the right. But the two in the middle I'm not sure of. Well, again, they could be Smiths. And a lot of it. Bill in the front, by the look of it. Auntie Nellie at the back down there, on the left, with Norma next to her, and Cedric in front, and Elsie in front with Bill. So, I'm not sure who that is. But that could be Eileen, you know, the youngest girl.
Yeah.
Eileen had straight hair, though. That didn't look like straight hair to me. Norma had straight hair. Elsie had really curly hair. And Eileen had straight hair. I'm sure she did. I know now they changed. Yeah, that's...
Same day, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah. That's old Auntie Nellie with... Well, I'm not sure that again is. That's that girl that was on the other picture, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that's Norma and Elsie.
In the second after the other picture.
Yeah, it's the same, almost in the same position, aren't
Yeah.
they? Yeah. Right, not sure where they are. That's Mum. Odd picture of her, I know, but it's his mum. And Bill and Ron and could be Leonard, I suppose.
Yeah.
Looks like his curly mum.
Barry Island?
Yeah, it could be.
Looks like the pillars at the back, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Grandma Crocombe at her sternest. All dressed for the beach. And Auntie Phyllis showing her knickers.
It looks like it's later on from that other photo of the standing outside the hotel.
That's right, yeah. Yeah. So, no idea where that is at all. And a cliff railway, is that?
Looks like it, doesn't it?
Well, not on the East Coast, there's no, well, nowhere I know where they got a cliff railway on the East Coast. No idea. Don't know who that is. The Crocombe Mafia. Yeah. Oh, that's Auntie Phyllis with one of her friends. Love the hat. Yeah, that's Mum with Auntie Phyllis for the look of it.
Is that a beach?
Sort of. Not one I recognise again. A row of houses along the back there. That's well, it's not East Anglia, that's for sure. But I don't know where on earth that could be. I'm back on familiar territory now. I'm not sure who that is, Bill or Ron. Looks like Ogmore Beach.
It's in the same place again, isn't it?
Yeah, Auntie Phyllis again. I've often wondered who that lady is, but never. Ron didn't know who she was either. That's obviously a day out somewhere. Again, I'm not sure who they are. Bill and Ron again. A Moggy. Ah, Curtin Iris, that is. I think that picture's in America, actually. His father looking very aggressive about something. Into quite a lot of bowling matches, did father, so...
Looks like they're doing something like that, doesn't
It looks like doing something like that, yeah. That's the fields across the road from Pendray. And the pilot of that plane was the farmer's son. And the farmer's son was a pilot during the First World War, which was a quite precarious life, apparently. They didn't last very long. And after the war, he didn't work on the farm. He had a career somewhere else. But he used to fly onto his father's land to come and visit him. And of course, all the kids turned out to come and have a look at his plane.
Yeah, big excitement.
Yeah, let's see one plane, and you know, that was it. You've seen a plane, that was something special. Yeah, that was Farmer Hopkins. And I think that's Dad up there, on the back of the thing.
Alright.
I don't think either of those is Farmer Hopkins. I think they're his other sons.
They close by to Pendray, were
Yeah, well, they had the farm, all the fields across the road. Pendray was all on one side of the road, you see.
Yeah.
And the fields the other side where Farmer Hopkins is. And his farm was up near towards Coity. So the fields opposite our house were the extremity of his land. So he very rarely got down there. He used to keep a couple of store cattle there just to keep the grass down.
Yeah.
But we used to play on there a tremendous amount.
Yeah. Your dad do some labour for him or something, didn't he? On the...
Well, no, it was haymaking. They used to do the haymaking, just...
Yeah.
And used to take, the farmer lady used to come with big jugs of cider and sandwiches and all sorts of pies and she used to make. And Mother used to take some pies as well. So it was 8 or 10 people used to turn up apparently for these gathering in and turning over the hay or whatever it was they wanted to do.
All hands to the pump stuff.
Yeah. And where that is now is the town hospital. Yeah. Ah, there he is, that's him.
The farmer in the front.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that where you used to go and do stuff as well on this farm? Or?
Me? No, that was, we'd moved from number 19 then, which was on the main road, and when we were in number 70, the milkman's farm was down the other end of Pendray, and because he was coming round the door, he asked if I wanted to help him,
Yeah.
because he needed the help. Yeah, Mum and Dad with somebody. Somebody little.
Might be you.
It might be me. It looks like number 19. I don't remember those houses there in number 70. So. Oh. No, not a clue. Well, that's Gran Davis, and Bill and Ron.
Big dog.
And that's Rascal. That's her dog, yeah. Gran Davis again, and the Smith clan. And Bill down the front right. I think she might be holding Ron, but I'm not sure.
It looks like
might be one of our own. That's the sort of things that Ron used to wear. Not by choice, perhaps, but yeah, that's the Smith clan. Almost gypsies, I think. The Smiths, and I think Gran had some of that blood in her as well. And she had a most beautiful Herefordshire accent, which just rolled off her tongue. It was. She never changed. She hadn't lived in Hereford since she was a girl. Always telling us tales about life on the farm. Like giving a donkey strawberries. She used to say, "Oh, he likes that. It's like giving the donkey strawberries, that." And I've never tried giving a donkey strawberries, but I presume that
they're quite keen.
They must be keen on them, yeah. And I remember Mother saying that they lived in Galway, and they used to go to the market on a cart with farm goods to sell, and they used to have a carrot on a stick, and the donkey really followed it. He would try and get hold of this carrot, and they'd give it to him now and again, and put another one on. And the only way they can get the thing to move, show it some food, and it would head for it. Yeah.
It really does work.
It really does work, yeah. That's Mum and Ron at Gran's house in Hazelhurst Road. Yeah. Well, there's a Smith. You can see he's a leader of a bloke, can't you? Hey, a real villain. Apparently, I never knew him except as a dark shadow in the car, when he came to visit.
Yeah.
Grandpa Davis, Gran, and Ron in the centre, and the Smiths. younger version of old Auntie Nellie. She looked like her a bit, and probably would have turned into her if she'd lived that long.
She died.
Two ladies very sure of themselves. I'm not sure any of they are either. Don't recognise any of the faces. Looks like a bus trip somewhere, doesn't it?
It does,
Davis's bust. No, don't know them. Before, and I'm not sure where they are. Somebody said it was Blackburn.
Really?
Did you? Was it you who blew it up and found a name on it or something?
I can't remember. It's all on the wall, isn't it?
It's a war memorial somewhere, yes. That's Auntie Hilda, I'm not sure where. Her house was up the north end of the main shopping street in Bridgend. And the shopping street split up into the Cowbridge Road and the Ogmore Road, right where the cottage was. And it could have been there, but I don't recognise the fancy hedge.
Very tidy, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Sorry?
Just say it's her.
It says Dorothy, yes. Yeah. It's Auntie Phyllis with Ron and Bill. Again, I'm not sure where. They're fancy gates, wherever they are. And a very attractive looking house behind. Yeah, it looks like it's Ron and Leonard in the middle, but the other two could be Smiths, I suppose. She was quite attractive looking, apparently, so it's probably her, yes.
Aunt Edith.
Aunt Edith, yes. Well, there's Auntie Phyllis on the right and Grandma Crocombe in the middle. But once again, I'm not sure who the other lady is. Smith. Joyce Smith was one of the Smith clan in Lander. I'm not sure if she's holding one of her siblings, I think. That's Ron and Mum. And the other dog that I knew that we had. Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know who the other two are, just neighbours perhaps. Well, that's Ron and Bill with the dog again, yeah. That's Dad with somebody with one of them. I'm not sure who the other gentleman is, but he was on that other picture with Mr. Burgoyne. So, might be something to do with the buses.
Yeah.
Might have been Dad's driver.
Yeah.
That's Cousin Iris. And Auntie Gladys behind her. There they are, all dressed up for something or other. Looks like St. David's Day, perhaps.
It could be, couldn't it?
Yeah. That's Elsie in the Welsh hat, and Ron and Norma dressed as a boy for some reason. That's Ron again.
Same day,
Yeah. He looks quite old for her, doesn't he?
Yeah. Is that Mr. Cornwall?
Cornwall, yes.
Is he her husband there?
I don't know. That doesn't ring a bell at all. It just said Auntie Edith, Mrs. Cornwall, didn't it? So whether there was another Edith, I'm not sure, because Auntie Edith married a rogue of a soldier, our Auntie Edith. As far as I can recall, she only married once. No, I don't. And perhaps Ron to the left, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And that looks like Norma behind there. But I'm not sure who that little girl is there. But it's not Norma's sisters. And everybody's looking the other way, look.
Yeah, that's weird.
They look as if they're looking at a band or something going on over there.
Yeah. That's wrong.
That's Ron, yeah, and Mum behind. And Gran next to her. Gran Davis. And this lady crops up several times, or I'm not sure who she is. And these look like Smiths. Looks like a clan meeting and all, doesn't it? There's Uncle Archie on the left. Uncle Percy. Not sure that's Ron there.
Yeah.
And that might be Bill there, but it looks a bit young for Bill. It might be. That's Cousin Leonard on the bottom left there. Bottom left. I'm not sure of any of the others, I'm afraid. With that bloody wall again.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's Bill in Grandpa's car, yeah. There's him look for the advance and retard underneath the wheel. The advance and retard the ignition.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't want to look on his face. Yeah. Very colourful. Yeah, Bill and Ron. Bill, yeah. Didn't look much like Ron, but it's the sort of things he wore, so. Now it's getting interesting.
That's you, isn't it?
That's me, yeah. Guarding my dinner. I went to look for the Ostermilk company on the internet, and they're part of an American firm now. But I couldn't find any advertising people names or anything I could write to and say, here's a picture for you. You would have made a good advertisement. Because it's, 70, nearly 80 years old.
Yeah.
And Ron again, looking very studious.
No, it's severe almost.
Oh, yeah.
Is it you? Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. And that's Father standing behind, yeah. He looks it, yeah. That's Father playing one of his games. It's marvellous eye for a ball game.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the best shots in the British Legion Club. And he could out-snooker most of the players there. And Mum, sitting in the garden alone. That's Grandpa Davis and Gran Davis. We're not sure who the gentleman on the end is. Or the children could be Bill and Ron in the middle there. And the car is belonging to a family that Grandpa drove for. And he drove them on special occasions. And they were to do with salvage in Cardiff and had lots of money. And every summer they would go to Llandrindod Wells for a month, and Grandpa would go as driver and Gran would go as cook and dresser for the lady, and stay there the month. So if Bill and Ron were at Gran and Grandpa's, they were bundled off home quickly because he was called to come and take them to their holiday. And they stayed at the big hotel in the main street in Llandrindod Wells. Get the name of it now. And they would stay there as well, have their own room and everything. So they used to enjoy doing that.
Yeah, that's not too bad, is it?
Yeah, and that was after he retired from the buses.
Yeah.
That's Grandpa Davis's horse bus. Outside the Black Lion, is it called? I think it's called the Black Lion. In Land of City. And the Black Lion's still there today. And those shops are exactly the same, except they haven't got the awnings over the fronts. Nothing's changed there at all. In fact, I've got a picture upstairs that shows it today.
Really?
Yeah. I was always impressed with that picture.
Yeah, it's a nice picture, isn't it?
Yep.
You again?
That's me again, yep. Shouting for me dinner, no doubt. I'm not sure who that is. In number 70, that just moved.
No, really. When did you move there then?
1938, when Lawrence was born, and he looks about 6 months older, doesn't he? Perhaps even older.
Yeah.
So we would have moved by then. Lawrence was born in May. And, same day as Ron, actually.
It's a funny coincidence, isn't it?
Pardon?
It's a funny coincidence.
Yeah, well, they always went to Boston for their holidays at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Me and Lawrence, that. Yeah, so that other picture was Lawrence, by the way.
Yeah.
That's probably Lawrence.
Elegant photo.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Again. Smiling even.
Yeah. With an off-the-shoulder number.
Yeah.
Reading the paper.
Yeah. Be in, get the name of the road now. Goes down to the park in Bridgend where they lived. That's the Irish's family
Yeah, in America.
in America, yeah. I should know. I think it's Hannah Reese. It should be one of Father's relatives. Father's grandmother, I think. Or Father's mother-in-law. One of the two, I'm not sure. I've got it written down upstairs.
Yeah.
Might have to go back to that one. Reese. Again, I'm not sure what that is either.
Bill in the Scouts, isn't it?
That's Bill in the Scouts, yeah. I'm not sure if Ron's at the end or not. I don't think so. Could have been. Well, that's Bill there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure whether that's wrong or not. I have to blow it on the screen upstairs and see if it's a bit more recognisable. That's Ron on one of his visits to Auntie Phyllis down in a nursing home in the south with Damaris. And Ron's escort behind, which he's very proud of.
Lovely 1960s.
Yep. Yeah. Tell which is Dad. Got the biggest hat. And there's a bowling club with the Old and the Shield, which they won or something.
Yeah.
It might have been a shooting club with the scenery. Maybe they shot out in the open or not, I don't know. There's Lawrence in his midshipman's uniform. Yeah. Mother spent all her savings buying his uniforms for him to go in the Merchant Navy. And he joined a company in Cardiff and did 2 trips with them. And he couldn't get off the ship in between, so he had to do 2 trips. And they all nearly starved coming back from South America on the second trip because they hadn't enough victuals on board. So Lawrence left it immediately. Got off. As soon as the ship docked, he got off, then came home, and they apparently wrote to him saying we wanted him back the next week, and he didn't even answer it. He'd already joined the Air Force.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah. He looked quite smart in that, though, didn't he?
Yeah. Same Seawolf.
Yes, and Grandma Crocombe and Uncle Archie and Uncle Percy. It's Auntie Phyllis looking her poshest.
Yeah. Pop studio shot.
Yeah, Papa studio shot, yeah. Now there's Grandpa Davis with his development from the horse bus into one of his first buses he drove. And Grandpa Davis is in the bus on the left, behind the steering wheel. Not sure who that is from there. It's a canal.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the Merthyr Canal that ran behind Grand's house. That would be at the end of the street, and that's the street, and the house would be down here somewhere.
Yeah.
And of course the kids, at the end of the street, it was open down to the bank of the canal there, and just there was a bridge over the canal. Mm-hmm. And that street went up to the main road through Lambeth. Mm-hmm. And these are all Lambeth kids and Smiths, probably, some of them. I bet that's Lawrence there. Not Lawrence, Ron there, by the look of it. You always liked hats, Ron.